Hello, my name is Justin Adams, and welcome to Jay's Days. Just when we thought Seth MacFarlane's A Million Ways to Die in the West was bad, comes along Adam Sandler's The Ridiculous Six. Now, this movie, but right when it started filming, it was like in the mix of controversy, because a lot of the native actors believed that they were being portrayed in a very stereotypical negative way. Netflix distributed this. It's like a straight-to-streaming movie. It's the second one of the Happy Madison film company. The first one was Joe Dirt 2, which was featured on Crackle, which was Joe Dirt 2. Now, this movie has the weirdest cast ever. We go from the usual Schneider to Spade, and then we go to the award-winning Nick Nolte to Harvey Keitel, and then we go to like musicians like Vanilla Ice to Blake Shelton. This movie has like pretty much everybody. Like everyone was on board to get into the costumes and to be in this ridiculous Western that Adam Sandler has cooked up. And it is ridiculous. The story is when Adam Sandler's outlaw dad, played by Nick Nolte, gets kidnapped by Danny Trejo. He must embark on this journey to not only find him, but to pay his debt. So on the way, he keeps finding a brother, a half-brother that is also related to Nick Nolte. And it goes from Taylor Lautner to Rob Schneider to Terry Crews to George Garcia to all these people, man, just absolutely just thrown in, and not like no character to it. Just throw on some costumes, attempt a Western accent, and try to be funny. Now, before I start completely bashing this movie, let's talk about the good stuff. There are some good stuff. The first good thing is that this movie is surprisingly shot very well. The cinematography is actually pretty nice. The sets and the costumes both are nice. I feel like that the cinematography and the sets and costumes were all in the right place, and their heart was there. Everything else, though, like the writing, the dialogue, and the action, is just not there, not in the right place at all. And the cast, for what it is, while it's random, they're there, and they even though all the stuff they're doing isn't necessarily funny, they're still attempting, and you can give credit to that, I guess. This movie is horrible. Adam Sandler, the second you see him, he has that typical Adam Sandler face where he's confused, and he's trying to be serious or something, but he's just confused. And he has like this weird Indian accent too. There's this part when we're just at an Indian tribe, and I can see why some natives wanted to walk out. No joke, because there are some, like, the way that they talk, they are talking, well, I'm not even gonna attempt it because it's just so bad and offensive. Now, this movie, I don't even know where to begin. First off, it's so long. Like, it's long. It's 2 hours long. Now, people are like, oh, that's a typical movie. No. A comedy should be 1 hour and, like, 30 to 40 to maybe 50 minutes at most. But when you're in a theater, yeah, it's going to be 2 hours long. It's because you have previews before the previews, you have all this other stuff before you have to actually get to the movie. So, of course, that is going to be 2 hours. But if you're watching a movie on Netflix, no comedy, especially a comedy like a Western like this was the problem with A Million Ways to Die in the West, too. Why are they so long? This movie stresses me out. It's like everything that's wrong with every Adam Sandler movie. Just think of Jack and Jill, Bucky Larson. If both of them had a baby, it would be The Ridiculous Six. I'm wondering how and why Netflix was like, totally. I think they don't look at some scripts, because there are some. It's weird. Netflix is very weird, because There are, when they release something, it's like it can be either as great as Daredevil or as bad as The Ridiculous Six. It seems like sometimes like when they just let some people go all out, it can either be really good or really bad. Adam Sandler, he's already had creative freedom most of his career. Now that he is full on creative freedom in this, it seems like it goes off the rails. He's just on this train, he goes off the rails, he's hitting a town, and he's just like, this is gonna be so funny. This is the funniest train wreck that anyone's ever going to see. And everyone's just like, no, we're dying. You've killed everybody and our town is now destroyed. Thank you, Mr. Sandler, this was great. Now it's funny because a few days ago on Hanukkah, December 7th, I think it was, the first day of Hanukkah, I reviewed 8 Crazy Nights, and I predicted this. I said that I think that 8 Crazy Nights is a far better movie. I think that Pixels is so much better than The Ridiculous. There's this one scene that made me laugh, and the joke went on forever. It did not elevate the story, it had nothing to do with the story, but it was the way that they did it, and it was the actor that they got to portray it. It was this, like, the birth of baseball, and they have John Turturro. He's like, hey, I'll tell you guys where this guy is if you help me with this game that I'm trying to put together. And the setup of it is just so good. But then again, while they have smart shit like that, then they have dumb shit like Mark Twain, played by Vanilla Ice, which I can see how that can be funny on paper, but they have him being like, drop the beat, and then him dancing, but his dancing is bad. And I feel like that's not supposed to be intentional. I feel like Vanilla Ice, thinks that he's either being really funny or that he's actually being kind of smooth, because then he's like spinning his hat. Sandler should stop teasing me. And he's just always teasing me and then jamming it in my ass. And I'm like, oh, Sandler, Jesus, be a little bit of a gentleman, huh? One major problem with it is that the movie has too many characters, has just too much going on. The whole entire first half of the movie is just Adam Sandler finding these brothers, and that itself is not funny. And then we have the brothers together, which again, I can see a little bit of chemistry with these guys, but then again, I can't, because I feel like the filming process was just rushed, like the writing process was rushed, everything was just rushed, so these guys didn't have time to actually like get together and be like, hey, let's have a conversation about this and see where this movie's gonna go. And they were just like, nope, let's just get going. Western, we're brothers, okay, like let's do this. George Garcia, you're not gonna speak English. Terry Crews, you're not gonna know that you're black. Luke Wilson, you're gonna be a drunk. Boom, hands all in, hands on deck. Hoot! While it does have some humorous moments such as the baseball scene, its writing and Sandler's performance do not make up for what it's lacking. A good story, some good characters, and a little bit of excitement. There's nothing exciting in this movie. Alright guys, that's what I think about The Ridiculous Six. If you guys want, you can follow me on Twitter at I'mJustin_420. And guys, if you want, I guess, you can check out The Ridiculous Six. It's now available on Netflix. So if you guys want to see it for yourselves, then go ahead, but I suggest that you don't. Alright guys, that's all I got. That's all I got about The Ridiculous Six. Boom.